What's up, guys? Hey, welcome to Kids Church Online. I just want to talk to you for just a few minutes about walls, right? Everyone knows what a wall is. It's this big thing behind me. We usually have 4 of them around us. Lots of walls. You see walls everywhere, right? They hold buildings up. You have walls everywhere. But I want to talk about it. I know it sounds a little silly, walls. What are you going to talk about walls for, right? But it goes with our Bible story today, and it's a story about the walls of Jericho. The walls of Jericho. It's one of my favorite, all-time favorite stories in the Bible. And in the Bible, about the walls of Jericho, these walls were impenetrable. I mean, that means that you couldn't get through them. They were impossible to get through. And any army that tried to get through was defeated. And they were trying to take over the city, but the walls were so strong. Because even before dealing with the walls, any troops trying to attack this city of Jericho would have to navigate their way. They'd have to find their way across the 27-foot wide, 9-foot deep pit that lined the outer edges of the city. So around this city, you had to navigate around this huge 27-foot wide pit. I mean, it's 9 foot deep. That's way taller than I am. I know I'm pretty short, but that's way taller than I am. And then there was the wall itself. The wall itself was 17 foot high and 5 foot deep. It was 5 foot deep of concrete, mass, solid stone. And if the attacking army managed to get this far without being shot down by the archers and the posts on top of the wall, all that was left was to defeat the well-trained, armed Canaanite army that was waiting inside. I mean, that sounds pretty crazy, right? But this was the reality for my friend Joshua in the Bible, and the Israelite army that was with him. See, these Israelites have seen the entire generation live and die while they were wandering through the desert. I mean, they were tired. Can you imagine wandering through the desert? You'd have to be tired. You'd have to be hungry. It seemed like an impossible situation. You're like, oh, I just want to be there, to be at the promised land, right? It seemed like an impossible situation. They're like, oh my gosh, now we have to get through this huge fortified city. And now I haven't lived very long, but I've lived long enough to know this, that running into walls is a part of life. I know that sounds pretty silly, but in life we may go through difficult things in life. Things that seem hopeless, things that seem like they can seem like walls in our life. And maybe we have a lot of homework. Maybe our brothers and sisters seem impossible to get along with. Have you ever felt that way? I know I have. Maybe we're dealing with hard or difficult family situations, right? And it can almost seem like Joshua's situation with the walls of Jericho, it seems like it's impossible to get through. And then on top of that, do you know what God told them to do to get through this city? God said to walk around the wall for 6 days. 6 days, and then on the 7th day, blow your horns and yell really loud, and the walls should fall down. And that seems really crazy now. Now, can you imagine you've been wandering the desert for so long, right? You're hungry, you're tired, you just want to be in the promised land. And then God said, listen, I'm going to help you defeat this city of Jericho, but first you have to walk around this huge wall 6 times, and on the 7th time, I want you to yell and scream. Can you imagine how confusing that would be? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd be pretty confused, right? But guess what? They did it. They obeyed God. They listened. And when they did, they walked around the city 6 times. They walked around the walls 6 times. And on the 7th day, do you know what happened? Talk to your mom, tell your mom, ask your mom what happened. They'll say, on the 7th day, the walls came crashing down, just like God said. My point is this. No matter what difficult situations we face, no matter how difficult life may be, right? No matter how confusing things in our life can be, God will help us through. He will always help us through. And it's an incredible thing that we have God on our side. God as our friend. It's such an incredible thing. So I want to leave you with that, right? That God will help us through even the difficult and most confusing situations, just like Joshua. So I hope that you guys have a great week. I will see you on Sunday. If not, next Wednesday. I'll see you next week.